back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, everyone. We're going to try to finish it tonight so that I can move on to my next game. That, and because this has been taking way too damn long, so let's just cut right to the chase and get right to it. Let me take a sip. I forgot what I'm supposed to do next. I think we're supposed to go to the... I honestly forgot where we're supposed to go. Let me look. Because I'm kinda not up to speed here. Okay. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So, nothing belonged to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. I think we present this to him, and then he'll let us look at the... I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say. Go find that guy who can't seem to sit still out there. The busy one. The guy who can't sit still? Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Hold on. Steam was being kind of weird. There we go. Either him or the dancing blue badger. Hold on. Oh. Permission to enter. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50 no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. You don't suck, babe. I barely started. Damn, there are 4 people watching right now. When did that happen? Oh, now there are only 2. Anyway. Huh? Hey! This is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. It's an honor! Just run along and do your best. Later, folks. I did scare them. I spooked them. They're like deer in headlights. Heh. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this is a bad influence on the girl. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well. What's made my Bambina skies go so gray? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing around there for? Get along, little doggies. Scene's a-waiting. Beep. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. You're a cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I gotta say a little prayer. What was that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation. Pronto. Oh. Okay, yeah, he won't let him, so let's just go into the investigation room. Into the evidence room. What wonders will we find in here? It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Well, I mean, they're like tombs and sarcophaguses. But, you know, not all cemeteries have grass and trees. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Hey, it's Detective Gumshoe. Whoa!
Uh-oh, what happened? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I recommend coming around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. Oh, is it true what I heard? Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, could I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, it's true.
So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50? Even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today? Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're the boss for a day.
Gee, thanks.
First of all, you'll want to have this.
Ah, the floor plans. Thank you. Let's have a chat, shall we? Shall we, Mr. Gumshoe?
So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone?
Damn, Emma.
Where are all your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again.
I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put this case to rest. My own evidence locker, pal!
Do you have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course. I'm a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
May I see it?
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right?
I'm trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Oh yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case.
This place is more high-tech than you think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it.
Using their ID card?
Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand. Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we open is our own.
Funny. They look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor. And if the wrong person touches it,
Bzz, zap! You get a shock.
if that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. I'm talking. Blah, blah, blah.
Why don't we have a little look-see?
There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet a evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
You leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either.
If you're gonna talk about behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Aw, poor detective. All this equipment is gathering dust here.
Look what fishing that is.
Ah, that's my personal pole. Never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal. That's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember?
Oh, right. Wow. Feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
That cheap-looking box? Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okay.
This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with dreams.
I'm not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey, pal. Our security is high-tech.
Why do I like Crom so much? Because he deserves the best.
Okay, the reason I like Crom so much is because back when Smash for Wii U was coming out, and they did the reveal trailer for Lucina and Robin, Crom was in it, and he didn't get announced as a playable character, and he was like, maybe someday, but not today. And that immediately made me think, you know what? He looks so sad, I want him to be in Smash. And then he got in Smash, and that makes me happy. He's the only good fighter. Anyway.
Is that a car door? Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Let's slide on over this way. Hey, there's a bloody fingerprint.
What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
Looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use her testing fluid to check it out. Ah! I'm spraying. Whew. Walski analysis. That must have been one massive pool of blood. I've never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Good was actually an alien?
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plan.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
Well, because you don't know shit, pal. Sorry.
What's with the paint cans?
Saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time. Or, since the dawn of time. True art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here? In the evidence room?
Ah, a glove on the tape.
Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Wow! Someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Oh no! She made you spill your smoothie? I'm sorry, babe.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. See the sticker on one of the pieces there?
Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broken. You want to try to put it back together?
Ah, good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Alright, let's see. I feel like I know, it's ridiculous. Tastes like bubblegum, apple, and OJ. That's an interesting I wish I could rotate the base. Ah, haha. Ah, haha. I'm getting it, I'm getting it. There we go, there we go. Voila. And then one more piece. Ah. Well, I think we did it, but some of the...
Yeah, I got that far in myself. Problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken. I get it from fragments. It's missing. Let's keep looking. There's another one. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light is, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. It's lit.
The locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint.
Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it.
It's empty. Must have taken the contents elsewhere.
You put these together, it makes a jar. There are things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll be sure to remember that next time I make a jar. I don't think there's anything else in here for us to look at. Let's see. Maybe the detention center? Nope. Nope. Maybe... Yep. Okay, here we go. We're about to go see Miles. Hello, Miles. How are you today? Anyway. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Damn it. Or we could snoop around. You missed everything that happened in the past 10 minutes because of stupid connection. Well, we put together the jar. We put the jar back together, and we looked at all the stuff in the evidence room, which wasn't much. Now we're back in Edgeworth's office, but he's not here, so we got to come back later. Now I'm just trying to figure out where to go next. Let me look here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that lunch lady bitch. I know what to give you. Is it chilly there? It's a little chilly. That smells. Reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No. I saw a special on television the other day. Is that from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. All right, Bambina. You win. Ask me. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Right. Okay. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security of the evidence room. You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job. I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I kept getting his name wrong, calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Maybe I shouldn't Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. Since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago. Well, you might not look, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what are you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
no need for people here. These newfangled machines do a bang keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
Much. Kind of like that stewed broccoli that sneak into your steak, you know.
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. Excuse me.
What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us exactly what happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago? The day of our case?
That's right. The evidence transfers.
Edgeworth was talking about the transferals, too.
I know what maybe 2 of them here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras.
Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned.
If nothing happens, tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard and you wreck it?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card.
Thus, the card reader by the door. I probably should have talked to him before I went into the evidence room, but, yeah.
Card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through.
So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Tina, can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Let me pull out some evidence here in a bit. Can you explain what this whole transferal thing is about?
Keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. I kept you under the proceeding detective supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see?
So what happens to the evidence after 2 years?
It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault in the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal's like a funeral for old cases. After a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated.
That happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card.
That was on the ground in the parking lot.
This is 52189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing.
What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say?
sir. Into room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. He pointed a knife at me.
If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins?
All right, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record.
Excuse me.
It is 1 o'clock. That is what my clock says. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people here with IDs here.
Damn, we got a lot of evidence for this case. This is gonna be a long case. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Okay, not Miles. Where do I go? Oh, go back. Name a Halloween movie where the jack-o'-lantern plays a significant role besides the Charlie Brown special. Where a jack-o'-lantern plays a significant role. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm looking. I haven't seen the Halloween Town movies in a long time. Do those have anything about jack-o'-lanterns? Okay, back to the evidence room.
Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. Bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because of the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
Well, why would evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal.
Side Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, that's right. With the head and the jack-o'-lantern.
Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case.
Tell me more, tell me more.
Now that was a bloody, violent case.
Violent? So it was a murder?
Serial killing.
Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all.
The killer made a mistake. Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was...
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. That started the rumor mill.
Rumors? About forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Excuse me. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman, detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. Huh. I think I know where to go next. Damn it, go back.
I gotta go back to the High Prosecutor's office. Or not the High Prosecutor's office, but the police station. Babe, you're mean. Your last story has over 100 views. That's crazy. Kowalski analysis. Could have sworn. What am I doing? It says spray the luminol with the upper left locker with a piece of cloth sticking out of it. That's what I'm... Oh, there it is. Finally. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch the spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey. Some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this one down on the floor plans. Pan right and spray the upper right locker to the left of the crime scene. Okay, so we have to investigate this handprint. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? With this locker. It's mine. It's yours? Please. You have to help me. When they come take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Counting on you guys. Believe me, can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Okay. So I have to do it in a certain order.
Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing.
That's fine.
You bet it's fine, pal. Oh.
Because I was presenting it to him. Duh, I'm stupid. Should probably save the game. See if we can go to the office. Do I have to go back to the fucking police department? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do anymore. It won't let me examine the stupid crime scene one anymore. Uh... SL911. I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you know how many other people sound like skit, bag, gag, nag, lag, zag? Zag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What are we playing? A word game now? Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Are you challenging me? Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Okay, so the walkthrough says I have to spray that big thing and examine it, but I already examined that. So, before Gumshoe says he's leaving to go to the inquiry. So, Either I messed up or something, because now I can't go talk to Miles like I'm supposed to. God. Did I miss something? I don't think I missed anything. Oh, okay. Yes. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing.
Ah, heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the... Whoa!
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What? Why would Edgeworth have come into the evidence room?
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Is there something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be getting out soon. I'm gonna give him my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but
no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Alright, let's talk to our boy Miles. Now, I forget. Was this guy supposed to be British or French? I think it was French. Ah, guess. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? Okay, that's what I thought. I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So, Miles, buddy boy. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence,
but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes. Apparently, there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
Something happened?
they gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
I ask you, why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still...
Ow. Never seen him this out of sorts. Let's, present that, thing to him. Hey, take a look at this. Oh, right. I better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edgeworth, you went to the evidence room that day, didn't you?
Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be, it would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
Chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. It says AI-16, I think.
Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. What else do I show you?
Ah, yes, okay.
I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right?
It all has to do with that case you were on. The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in it.
You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then?
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why a deputy chief of police was on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than usual. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I'll do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
you were still studying forensics, if you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminal testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well?
Yeah, he's got such a smug face. Ugh.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere.
Yes. Time to go back to the...
police department. His hand.
Here. On the detective's evidence locker.
Secret weapon we just borrowed.
Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
Finger.
Each behind slightly different. So let's that will have left behind the clear print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger.
Okay, the index finger.
Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh?
Huh? How do you do that?
With the X button, see?
Ah, it looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that?
With the triangle button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See?
Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though.
It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
I guess I'd better give it a try. I think I'd like to try one of the other fingerprints.
Okay, let's move on to a different finger.
Let's try the thumb.
Beat to blow. Aha! You did it! You found one!
But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left his fingerprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here!
Hey, calm down. It's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like they're outside the bloody handprints as well. Find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Oh, there's that one. That's a print. Will you take a look at it, Emma? Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And what do you think left these prints? Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would be most likely to find on the evidence locker? Well, probably Detective Gumshoe. Aha! So these handprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Got a luminal fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay. And this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in this area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? To me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Huh. seeing anything here. There's gotta be something here. Hold on. Oh, okay. There we go. How would anyone have been able to find that? That's such a hidden thing. That one little handprint to the finger. Hey, that looks pretty similar. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Voluminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall? It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it.
To be continued. Let's keep it going. Saving data? Yes. All right. Trial time.
So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
So how'd it go?
Just as Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
But Lana, don't tell me you... much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Is it cold over there? I wouldn't know. Let me check. It says it's 70 degrees here. So, no, not cold. Not cold. All right. Let me take a drink. It's like 50 there? Damn, babe.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain in both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow. This is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait.
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness to the of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred in the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Ooh. Abby!
Ooh, boy.
Things are getting wild in the get-go. Oh god, I'm gonna have to do the Rick voice or the Morty voice. Hold on. My mouth is kind of sore, so it's hard.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir!
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You've got to believe me, sir!
Actually, but...
Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man in the security screen and rushed to the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out. until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. Let's press him for everything he's got. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. Ah, yes, the creepy-looking, Parappa the Rappa-looking motherfucker. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is! I found it! It's the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man in the security screen. Your last comment was just, babe, what are you ing about? I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver.
You were saying from when he first spoke. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in the face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Hold on. My back is itchy. There we go.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief delivered it?
What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told that it had been, and was told that it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Is this FNAF? Wow, 3D graphics. Here he comes. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. But he's not there. Yeah, it's FNAF. Keep expecting the badger to pop out and just go, ah! Edgeworth.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that was the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Oh Lord, he coming. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone. in the evidence room and some sort of, activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice.
It was kind of creepy. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His face can't clearly be seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Let's press this boy for everything he's got. Press this boy. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter.
The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you were the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see.
Yeah, that's for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it.
But you don't know that for sure, do you?
You're about to sneeze. Excuse me.
Sorry for any headphone users out there. You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we're not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claimed the man you brandished a knife on you claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source.
So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him.
No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important to this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled... Excuse me. Good Lord. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Yes, there is. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out?
Oh, God. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. Let me see first, just in case I fuck up.
I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the I had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not...
Oh, okay. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins? Sir! Do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Grab the hand, the sensor reads your fingerprint. It's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. I don't like that blue badger. It's very creepy. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit!
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah!
Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
but the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. It's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well. Novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honor?
Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright.
Okay. There it is. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my... Well, we can't be sure. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing...
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical currents.
It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
It was the glove, obviously. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident.
Nani?
The victim seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is it not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir!
Order! 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 So are we to believe the victim this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, that, sir! Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
Excuse me.
An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. 420. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why are there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
There's one of... Oh, okay. Gotta cross-examine the boy. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
Or to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that.
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman?
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence.
Mommy, is that the man in blue the murderer?
Shh, don't stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak to you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. I think I have an idea, but let me check. Make sure I don't shoot my shot. Yes, the report. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. Oh, hey, the game is ready to use. Nice. Anyway, I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report? It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure. There is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well. It seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So
So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
the activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to?
I think it's Gant.
However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. It's time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testified, what is his or her name?
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Abby, are you still awake? Or did you fall asleep? The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
Oh my god, apparently this thing goes on and on and on. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Okay, good. So apparently, there's more investigating on this day, too, and I'm just like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to put up with this. Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
I'll probably stop when they go back into court. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey. Hey. Hey, hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh. Oh, 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 oh. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name?
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Did I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
Can't believe you. The chief prosecutor were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness? The Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark? That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now I brought you your stuff. You're just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dart killings. The Joe Dart? No, no, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away.
Yeah. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be something. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth? Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't just be a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call it here for tonight, because if I were to guesstimate, it's probably gonna take at least 1 or 2 more episodes to finish this episode. God, this is ridiculous. I can't believe how long this episode, this chapter of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is. But hey, I guess that's why it wasn't in the original game, because it doesn't really have much bearing on the actual plot. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. It's kind of a slog this last chapter, but it's interesting. The more it unravels, it's all coming. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Maybe leave a like, subscribe, comment, and tell me how much I suck if you want, and maybe hit that bell notification so you know when I play more. Anyway, thanks again. I'll catch you all later.